Gather around, island lovers. It's Demi and Jasmine with your Fire Pit Chat, your daily dose of all things Love Island. This episode is brought to you by Vochill. Attention all wine lovers. Savor your wine in style with the new Vochill stemless wine chiller. Vochill keeps your wine crisp and cool by actively pulling heat out of your glass for truly effective temperature control. Keep wine perfectly chilled in your own wine glass using their detachable and refreezable chill cradle that actively chills the wine in your glass. No more chunky metal or plastic tumblers or ice in your wine. It's just you, your glass, and your favorite pour perfectly chilled. You may have seen our Vochill wine chiller making an appearance on the pod. We're using them today. We have some Diet Dr. Pepper in there. Delicious. We'd love to use them to keep our beverages at the perfect temperature while we watch all the drama unfold in the villa. Go to vochill.com/discount/firepitchat-15 and use code firepitchat-15 for 15% off. And again, that's www.vochill.com/discount/firepitchat-15 and use code firepitchat-15 for 15% off. Vochill is just simply the best. I'm obsessed with that product. I use it at least every weekend, and it's so good. And it's just like, you don't have to have an alcoholic beverage in there. Sometimes you just need an ice cold DDP, Diet Dr. Pepper, to just really get you through the Monday afternoon.
It's baffling to think about having a soda not in that.
No, truly.
Feel bad for me.
I sure do.
Okay, so we're recapping Sunday night and Monday night's episode. Sunday night's episode, we started with Andre and Catherine going.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like, not Catherine, Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote, Ella pointed out the fact that Jess and Molly were sat there, while their partners were there. So she mentioned the thing that you were saying is that if Catherine was sitting there, who knows who would have been? Honestly, probably Zach if Molly was standing up there.
Totally. Whoever's up there, your man's is going home.
You're right.
And then the girls were agreeing with her and who knows, maybe you guys were going to send Catherine home. So that's their frame of mind. They're like, they're both up there. Maybe they're both going home. Like, we're not going to save that guy when we have the two girls sitting right here deliberating. They're going to choose their guys. So it was a good point.
And then I did see some more. Like my eyes are very drawn to Whitney and Medi and what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously today's episode we got a little bit more, but they were sitting there and Whitney was like holding Medi's hand and like rubbing his arm, and I was like so surprised at that. Like I only see them as friends, so like that was the first time I like saw them. His arm was there and she was. Did you see that?
No, I didn't notice.
I think she was talking to Catherine. And then Whitney makes a comment where she was saying, now I feel like it's like obviously foreshadowing what happened, but she was like, you never bring me to the terrace. And he was like so thrown at that.
Right.
And I was like, it seems like they should share a kiss. And they do today, which we will talk about.
In today's episode. Yeah. But it's been weeks and this is your first kiss. Like, I'm just going to say it. I like them together. Blah, blah, blah. But they're a friendship couple that doesn't want to admit they're a friendship couple, and they're trying to make it happen, and it's like trying to make fetch happen. Like, it's just not going to happen.
I know. It was so funny.
And it's kind of cringe to watch. I like them both. I like them together. They make me laugh. I love Whitney. I'm obsessed with Whitney. But I think she's forcing herself to like Medi. And you know what, Whitney? We all been there.
I know. And I saw on Twitter that was like, damn, Medi thought to himself that there's $50K on the line, and that's why he had to put the move on. Like, he can't do this for so long. But anyway, it feels so like boring talking about Sunday night's episode because it kind of trickles into tonight.
It does trickle. I do have a few thoughts that I did want to mention about Sunday night's episode that I just don't want to forget about. Well,
Whitney and Medi was giving her that suntan lotion massage.
Oh, yeah. Was that not tonight's episode?
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That went on for entirely too long. That was like 5 full minutes of the episode. We watched that massage from start to finish.
It was very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. I just don't want to watch anyone getting a massage.
I know, you're right. And then he like unties the back of her.
And Zach and
she's like,
Catherine are dying watching.
Scott and Catherine.
Oh, Scott. Yeah, sorry.
So we did see Scott and Catherine talk a lot.
We saw Scott and Catherine talk. We did not see Scott and Leah talk. But he keeps alluding to this connection between him and Leah.
Right.
Which we have yet to see.
Right.
So I think that connection is maybe just physical. Because we'll cut to this later. But in the competition in tonight's episode, essentially Molly says her and Zach don't talk about anything. Because I think they just sit around and talk about how they're into each other, like we were saying.
How Zach and Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who said that?
Molly. Molly said me and Zach. In tonight's episode in the competition.
Oh, I thought, was she joking? Or did everybody say that?
No, her and, in the competition, they had to guess which each other would say. And then the competition's over. The girls are getting ready for the night out. And the girls were kind of asking Molly, like, were you surprised you guys didn't know more of each other's answers? And Molly said, no, because we don't talk about shit. And then one of the girls said, so you don't think you know Zach that well? She's like, no.
Really? I totally got a different vibe on that.
What was your vibe on that?
Not that.
But that was what they said.
I don't think so. I feel like everybody was saying that about them. And she was like,
no, Molly said, we don't talk about shit. Like, she said, we don't talk about that kind of stuff.
Oh.
But what do you guys talk about?
Was that the sex position thing?
No, it was like the competition from tonight's episode when they had to guess all the questions.
Well, I think it started with what's your favorite sex position, and none of them knew.
And like, yeah, just like, and then, went on to like, who's the couple that's playing the most games. And
Molly like had to like always like has a face on. Mm-hmm. She always is making a face. She's always in a pose.
Right.
It's always
theatrics. Yeah. Literally.
It's always to get attention. It's so weird. And what is with this like bikini top not covering the full boobs?
She just got some fake tits and she wants everyone to see.
But everyone does it. Like Leah does it, Jess does it, Molly does it. It's like this new style. Underboob. And I know it started like last season with like Paige Thorne.
Right.
But it's like only a good look, I feel like, if you're like flat and you only have like a little. But like Molly's big boobs, like I just find it's so distracting.
It is so distracting. Honestly, if I tried that trend, it would just like, where does your armpit boob? And then like, it would just like not be a flattering look on me, because when a bathing suit looks too small on you or a bra or anything, and then it just starts spilling over to the side and then you have some arms and some armpit fat, like it's not going to look good.
I would just,
for me, but these girls don't have to worry about that.
I would look like a stripper.
Yeah.
There would be
if you
a
have
lot
big boobs,
going on.
Yeah. If you have tiggle bitties, that's that tends to happen. But also Tyreek asked, so sorry, I skipped ahead and I confused everyone, especially you. Because I'm like, did I make up that conversation?
Let's not go back.
Anyway, so Tyreek and Ella did sleep on the day beds. I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
What did you think about that?
I just said dangerous.
Dangerous.
And then I have Ella and Scott have a chat. Oh, and then all the whole group on the beanbags. That was such a funny moment when they were like doing honest hour.
Oh, yeah.
Tyreek is, I think, starting to show that he really does like Ella, because he was freaking out a little bit.
He was acting immature.
Yeah, he was acting jealous.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And they now he's like a meme with the sunglasses going down. Have you seen that? Oh my God. It was like, one girl tweeted, like, when it's 4:59 on a Friday and someone's at work in the group chat saying, hey, can you do this? Like, the sunglass meme is so funny.
If I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So good.
So yeah, I didn't think that Scott and Ella had anything.
No, there was an innocent convo.
And then there was that daytime recoupling.
Yeah.
Weird.
And
like, how gross was what Mitch said?
Is this man okay?
What are you talking about?
She has a good body. Poor Leah. And I think this started to like be what broke her down later, is all the boys are basically just saying like, you're a hot piece of ass, but you're nothing more.
I know.
You're nothing more than a little hot piece of candy that we're tempted by, but we're not going to eat it. Like, that's all the guys have been telling her since she got in this villa. And of course, it's going to weigh onto the girl.
I know, honestly, and I would have liked Scott to go first because I would have liked Scott to see, are you picking Catherine or are you picking Leah instead of Mitch going? Like, let Mitch go last.
Right. Like, Mitch
is irrelevant couple anyway.
Exactly. Like, him going first was one of those like softballs that the producers do.
But
I
why?
hated that. I don't know either. They just want Mitch around, so they want Mitch to get his pick.
But why? It would have been more interesting if Scott went first and chose between Lee and Catherine, because now people are getting attached to Catherine and Scott, which I don't think is a thing. Like,
yeah.
Because all he does is keep talking about Leah, but the producers are not showing us Leah and Scott's conversation until today, which does seem very physical.
Yeah. But when they
also, I think it kind of works.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I do think it works for them.
Yeah.
I think when I saw them talking, I was like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad seeing Catherine up there last.
Yeah.
That was sad to see.
But her couple did just leave.
Right. So she has to start from square one, and that makes sense. There's people in established couples there. But I do agree. I think if Scott went first, it would have been more interesting because I do think he would have picked Leah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Mitch and Catherine, which Mitch is just a floating head anyway. And so then the whole situation with the Sammy, Leah, and Jess, and how Leah was upset and then goes to him by the fire pit, and she was like, okay, that was like the craziest thing to me. She goes, I'm a person and I have feelings. He's like, yeah, and I bet you are, and that's not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
That said everything I needed to know about Sammy right there. He's a problematic king. Go off. Like, get off the island. I do not care for Sammy. I don't care for Sammy. He's giving me Jake of Jake and Liberty.
I feel like, wait, hold on. I'm literally just blacked out. What are we talking about again? Oh, Sammy and Jess. It's Sammy and Jess. Yes. Leah and Jake and Liberty.
Yeah. He was so disrespectful, defensive, and just weird about Leah coming to him, because he could have nipped it in the bud right there and been like, oh my God, you know what? I should have pulled you. That wasn't cool. That's not what I meant. I'm so sorry. But instead he handled it so poorly. It was shocking.
Why wasn't he understanding that the whole point of the conversation was you just didn't let her down before you freaking put her on blast and let her know in front of everybody? Mm-hmm. That was the moral of the story. You didn't let her know. So, and you called her a Tess up there because you're trying to look good for Jess,
who now isn't vulnerable. So you're in the bottom three. Jess is not. So Jess, the public likes her. So now you feel, and Leah, by the way, bottom three. Now you feel confident and comfortable being like, I've only had eyes for Jess.
That was wild.
Wild. And just breathtakingly unself-aware of him to not even mention the fact that he's been like trying to canoodle with Leah. And why not just pull Leah and be like, I am leaning more towards Jess. Or after he did announce it publicly at the recoupling, let's say he was taken off guard with the recoupling in the middle of the day, which that's probable. Why not after be like, I know I had to stand in front of everyone and I really enjoyed our talks, but I just feel that connection more with Jess. Like, he ignored Leah like she was nothing. I think that probably added to it too. I felt bad for Leah in the moment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt bad for Leah. And I just think Sammy handled it so poorly. I think if he even tried to take an ounce of accountability, this wouldn't have snowballed into the thing it did.
Like, everyone's making me look made out to be some type of dick. It's like, you're acting like a dick.
Right. No one can make you out to be anything.
I hate when he was like talking shit about Jess being like, oh, she's 22. Like, that's what 18-year-olds or whatever Scott said act like. It's like, are we kidding?
What about when Sammy was talking to the boys right after that convo with Leah, and Zach, of all people, was like, oh, I've been reading this book. I was like, Zach's literate. Check.
I didn't hear
Good
that.
to know. Yeah, Zach had read this book. They are.
Well, he was a chubby one.
There's also audiobooks.
Maybe he didn't have his humor, but he had his intellect.
Totally. He has his wits. Exactly. But does he?
Yeah.
But he's like, I read this book and we should take more accountability for our actions. He said it's like famously hard to take accountability for your actions. And Sammy said, what does that mean? Sammy doesn't even know what accountability means.
He's
and
so young.
Zach, of all people, had to say it means like taking fault. Like he had to literally explain what accountability was. And that just summed it right up.
How about Zach's speech to Molly was literally 5 seconds long?
I couldn't even tell you what he said.
Nothing. It was literally 5 seconds long. I can't believe the producers weren't like, can you write more? His thing was probably 1 sentence. I couldn't believe it.
You are pretty.
He just said, we have good chat. Like, of course, like, whatever. And okay, so I think it ended on that whole Sammy, Leah, Jess situation. I'm loving Jess. I do love that Jess really cared about Leah's feelings.
Yeah.
I think she's not dumb. Like Leah was crying. She doesn't seem like the type of gal to just like cry for drama. It seems like Molly's MO. So the fact that Leah was upset, which I get it. Like everyone keeps saying like sexual tensions. Like, well, maybe one, you're giving that vibe. Maybe you're giving the fun for a night vibe.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like maybe Scott and her do actually talk more because that's what kind of Scott was saying to Catherine.
Right.
Which all we saw were Catherine and Scott's conversations, and those seemed like personal. So if he said that he got more out of Leah, why aren't they showing that?
Exactly. But then also, they just don't show Molly and Zach ever talking. So I just want to know why. Why don't they show certain people in their conversations? Like we see Ella and Tyreek. Right.
There's no combo.
But is
Molly
it
and
possible
Zach.
that there's nothing with Scott and Leah too, and it's just that like they're attracted to each other? He thinks they're having good chat, but there's nothing there. There's nothing of substance, you know? Or the producers are just trying to make us think that, you know?
Yeah. But then tonight, Ella and Ty go to the Hideaway, which people on Twitter were like, that's crazy that all the couples are so incompatible that Ty and Ella are the strongest couple.
Right. The ones that constantly fight are the only ones strong enough that was the only couple on everyone's mind to send to the Hideaway. And these people were yelling at each other on the beanbags a few hours ago.
Well, then they're like, I think Whitney yelled Ty and Ella really fast, or Catherine. And I think they wanted to before Zach and Molly. So I don't know. It's so just smart. Twitterverse. And okay, so let's talk about Mitch and Jess. Mitch's game is to put down other people, and you just look like an insecure, jealous guy. You should be focused on your own
strengths.
Exactly. Conversations. Not like you would look better with me, don't you think? Oh, he knows that me and you would be more suitable. Ew, dude. What are you saying?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Like you said, I just think it calls more on your insecurities than it does the other person's weaknesses. I just don't think that's not how you should operate in any capacity ever, by putting other people down to make yourself look better. I think it's horrible.
Untrustworthy too, because you're trying to get Jess. So are you saying this shit because you're trying to make because he's like, do the right thing, Jess, like dump him. It's like, stop, dude. If you were in a couple with Molly and you were saying this, then I would be like, he's a good friend.
Yes.
He has her back, but your game plan is to get her. So like, you just look slimy.
Totally. It's all about your motives. Like if he were like, be careful. If he had nothing to gain by it,
right? Maybe
I would take it seriously. But when Mitch is saying it, I'm like, shut up. Like, I just can't stand Mitch right now.
So now the game happens and Mitch was voted least trustworthy. Oh my God.
I mean, he has been moving like a snake in this villa, like against all the guys.
I know.
And then what did Mitch say in his beach hut? Like I kind of missed it, but was he kind of like that was fair because of how
He's like, yeah, I mean, I tried to go under the radar and do my own thing with Molly, but got caught. But it's like, but my actions got caught.
But Mitch, but that's not even true because Molly wanted nothing to do with you. Like he's just like so delusional. Like get a grip, Mitch. It's wild.
I wish. What if they like pulled them into like their little mental health breaks and like showed them clips of them acting.
I wish.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but that
then
would
they
be like
so aware of how they are.
Right. That would be like too successful for their mental health, and like it would be bad for the show.
You're right. And Zach and Molly playing the biggest game.
I don't know. Like maybe that's just because Molly's involved.
Right.
Zach doesn't seem like a game player to me. Zach is playing checkers and we're all playing chess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not like strategic.
No, he's just there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's, who knows with him? He doesn't fucking say anything.
I know it, dude.
I hate the way he talks. They say nothing. When they were sitting together holding hands or whatever and her lightning bolt tattoo, I'm like, the lightning bolt tattoo is starting to make more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Red flag.
Raquel and Tom were looking at you.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. And then couple with least sexual chemistry, which I thought was so crazy. Whitney voted for them herself.
That's telling.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And then try to act like you want to be in this couple.
Yeah.
Who likes a guy in the beginning?
So true.
You haven't been dating this guy for 5-10 years.
You haven't been dating this guy.
You're not married. You're not boyfriend, girlfriend. And you already are like, sexual tension's kind of not there anymore. Like in the beginning is when it should be the highest.
I know. So right.
I mean, right? Like,
ideally.
You know? Like it I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. Like if you don't want to jump his bones then, it's only going to get
when
worse.
Are you going to want to?
Like when you're tired from work and you see that little shit every day when you get home, like you're not going to want to then if you didn't want to when you're living rent-free in a villa in Mallorca.
So true. They do have like a lot of fun together. I did watch Unseen Bits because I wanted to get a vibe of what everyone was doing.
Right.
And like Mitch and Zach look like really good friends. Like Zach was like laying on him in bed. Like they were like, which sounds weird, but Whitney and Medi were in the kitchen. Like they were getting along. I just wanted to see the dynamic. Like what was I missing here?
By the way, I think Medi and Whitney get along really well as friends, and I think they like each other's company.
Yeah,
I just don't think they want to bang each other.
Like even she said in the beach hut where she's like, I almost said Pizza Hut.
Yum.
And she was like, I'm usually like a baddie, you know, and he's like this French guy, but it's to be continued. Like I think she's intrigued. I think she's just bored or has nobody else.
Yeah.
I think if a big man's came in here with his eyes set on her, I wonder what would happen.
Yeah, like Whitney's acting like Medi can put her in her place, which I don't think Medi should do, by the way. I think whoever's with Whitney should let her shine. But she's trying to act like, oh, I'm trying to like go off of what Medi's vibe is. And it's like, I just don't. I love Whitney.
It's forced.
I'm just trying to clarify this.
I love
easier. Whitney, but it shouldn't be this. It's 2 weeks of knowing each other.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're not attracted to him now, like right now, that's like primarily all you have is attraction. So if you don't have it, you can want to be his friend. I think they want to be each other's friends. Honestly, I've had guy friends that I really like their personalities, but when I think about spangalanging them, like I would like want to no. You know what I mean? And that's what Whitney is. That's why when Medi asked her to the terrace, she's terrified because she doesn't want to kiss him. She doesn't want to kiss him.
Oh my God.
She's like, I'm scared. I'm like, I know why you're scared because you don't want to do it, girlfriend. And that's okay.
Yeah.
She does not want to kiss. If you don't even want to kiss him,
I know.
dude, they're not attracted to each other. And that's okay. I wish they just were like strong friendship couple vibes because I could still root for them.
I know.
Like there's friendship couples that yeah, I would vote for them as my favorite couple if they were just like open and honest about being a friendship couple.
Right.
And I do think they genuinely like each other's company. I just don't think.
But they're like, it is Love Island, not Friend Island.
And I think that's why they're trying to fake Love Island.
I know. Before we get to that, though, Scott and Catherine, are having the talk, and then Leah pulls Scott for the chat. And yeah, so the first fucking chat we've ever seen was freaking Leah and Scott, which is what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? How are you gonna? how are you gonna lead us up to the fact that Scott is choosing Leah without giving us any context?
That's what's frustrating. We saw Leah and him meet, and then we saw this conversation. And it's just like,
right.
why can't we have any filler?
Right.
You could have cut out some of Medi's massage with Whitney and just given us one little convo.
It's so true.
Like, just let's hear them talk about what their favorite movies are. Like, it doesn't have to be.
We'll go back to rocks.
You know what I mean? Let's go back to rock climbing.
So true. I do feel bad for Catherine, but I do think her guy is coming. It's not here.
Catherine's just got to hold on till Casa more, and then it will come full circle for
We're
her.
on week 2, though. We have like...
It's honestly so crazy how much has happened.
It is wild. It's like we probably have like, what, 2-3 more bombshells?
We have like 3 more weeks until Casa, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a while for Whitney to hang on. I do like Whitney though a lot. I mean, not Whitney. I like Whitney too, but I like Catherine a lot, and I hope she hangs on.
Yeah, I think she will. And then Medi invites Whitney to the terrace, and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" She said, "Well, I can't leave him there."
But she wants to.
Oh, and then look at this tweet where, like you were saying, that Whitney did not want to go to that terrace, at all. Whitney meeting Medi on the terrace by force.
Oh my god, it's so good. It was like the Hunger Games.
I had to mute it. Hunger Games stop. Oh my god. It was lit. Wow. Whitney and Medi are Katniss and Peeta in the beginning.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Just doing it to stay alive.
Totally.
Stay
Survival.
Stay on the same team.
Yes.
Shut up. That is the greatest reference ever.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
And again, love them, but I do see what they're doing. Like, at least Catherine really is like true to herself, and she'll find something that works or doesn't. Like, she'll admit it, because she could have ridden it out with. I mean, I know her and Dre were pretty solid. Well, no, Zach kind of pied her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
forget that.
I just think Whitney has a lot of fun. It's just her guy's not in there. What else is she gonna do?
Yeah, she doesn't take it too seriously, which is refreshing.
So do you I kind of think she does like his personality. I just think they're not she's not maybe attracted to him. I think he might be attracted to her.
Oh yeah, I think if Medi had the option to, it would be romantic with him and Whitney. I just don't think Whitney would choose that, and it's kind of up to Whitney, because Medi's a respectful king.
I wonder now if we're gonna get like some feedback on how that kiss was to her.
Oh, I do want to know. And also, after, I think it was on the other episode, when Medi was talking about Whitney like laughing at him during the recoupling.
Oh, yes.
And Medi was really insulted by that, and Whitney didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I do think that was like a slight little indicator that Medi maybe can't handle someone like Whitney.
I know.
Because like that's her personality.
Weird.
She's going to laugh. She's going to have fun. You can't be so sensitive about those things if you're going to be with someone like Whitney.
True.
Who's like a big personality, and she's like very fun. You know what I mean? Like if that like really upsets you, I was like, ooh, it kind of like scared me. He was going to try to like, you know, like sometimes slowly but surely they say they like you for being that big personality, and then they like knock it little by little until you lose that. Like that scared me a little bit, because I've seen that happen.
Well, that's what people on Twitter too were saying. Like, why is Medi starting another fight over nothing? Like, yeah, maybe their personalities are clashing, you know?
Right. I just think that's what, at the end of the day, I think that's what it is. They're just two different people that have fun together. They laugh together.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what next on was, but I'm here for week 3.
I think the next on was Sammy being like a little questionable.
Oh, geez, Louise. I feel like he's just trying to get like airtime.
Oh, yeah.
It's all like so weird.
Yeah.
And like with Jess.
And it's out of pocket.
Like weren't interested in. So this is weird. It's just like one of those girls that you could say anything to Jess, but she's fighting back. So he picked the wrong girl.
He thought she was someone like that.
Right. Well, I'm loving Jess. I think she's fucking unreal. I think she's a great girlfriend, a girl's girl through and through, doesn't take shit. Yeah, I like her.
All the girls are really good girls.
Yeah, they are.
I like them.
Me
Minus,
too.
Molly.
Right.
And perhaps Leah. Sweet girl, but bringing nothing.
Okay, I think we're done here. Thank you guys all for listening to Fire Pit Chat, your daily dose of all things Love Island. I'm your host, Demi, and this is Jasmine, and we appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review and share with your fellow island lover, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.